And a lot of it doesn't make sense anymore. Oh my gosh. So, okay, talking about Smooth Rasp, one of the things that you shared with me, since we've been friends for a good bit now, was
Mhm.
your performance of the national anthem. Um, and tell the listeners where that was and all that from the video that you shared with me.
Yeah, so it was at a Trump rally in Charleston, South Carolina. It's back
Awesome.
in February. In fact, it was actually on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And yeah, and so thankfully I didn't have any plans I had to cancel, so I was able to do it. But the crazy thing is I'd never sang the national anthem anywhere
hmm.
professionally. I mean, obviously I knew the song and I knew I could sing it, but like
Yeah.
I'd never professionally performed it. And I mean, literally not a high school basketball game, not a grand opening of a Piggly Wiggly down the road, like nothing. Nothing. And so I figure if you're gonna do it, you might as well just get thrown right into the Lions Den and do it at the Trump rally,
That's right.
because why not, right?
Right.
And so it was such an honor. It went over really well. It kind of went a little viral on X, which I'm not even on X that much. Like
Hmm.
I just kind of surf on X and keep up with what the current, you know, current
Beef. Yeah.
politics and crazy drama is. But as far as like trying to actually do anything on there,
Mhm.
I don't use it for music. And it just got shared by so many like political people
Oh,
and
wow.
it just kind of blew up. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And the reason I bring that up is because listening to the music that you have out, like on Spotify, and then listening to the national anthem, I was shocked because I was like, "This is not the same guy. Like, what is happening?" And
Mhm.
in the best way, because it's like you again are extremely versatile, and you could just take this amazing standard patriotic tune and make it your own and bring some refinement. And I mean, I was blown away. I'm just gonna say it.
Well,
I
thank
am. I
you. I
was very
appreciate it.
impressed.
I've had a lot of good feedback, which is always nice. It's
Hmm.
such a there's such reverence for that song. I'm super patriotic, and the last thing you want to do is not have a good performance of the national anthem, as we know from
As we
recent
know.
recent news. But it was the only time I've really been like any bit nervous recently. Like I've
Really.
been doing music so long and been on stage so long, like
Hmm.
that's my place that I like to be. It's my comfort zone. And I'm
Yeah.
never nervous for music related things. But that was one of the times I was just like I had some butterflies and it was like the whole thing was just awkward because let me explain like let me take you through my
Yeah.
whole week.
Please.
So I get the call Monday morning. This was going to be on Wednesday night, right? So I had 2 days preparation and I'd never sang it before, right? So I'm like, you can't say no, but you're also like very hesitant. But of
Hmm.
course I agreed to it and I'm like, holy crap, I got to sing the national anthem at the Trump rally in 2 days. What am I going to do? And I was getting over, I had bronchitis the last like 2 weeks of January.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
so
Hmm.
this was only a few weeks like later. And, as you know, bronchitis is very hard to get over in
Yeah.
terms of
Stamina.
vocal like thrash.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's just
for
very
sure.
tough.
Hmm.
And so I was practicing the song and I was like 1 out of 2, like 50% I was hitting the big notes. Like every
Hmm.
other time I would hit it great. And then, I'd hit it and I'd go, I'd slide and my voice would crack and just
Yeah.
sounded awful. So I'm like, already unsure of like how to approach it in terms of like, do I really want to go after it and nail it? But then chance like messing it up, and then
Yeah.
like they'll remember that more than they'll remember me nailing it. So
Yeah.
that was the first thing. And then second thing, I called the guy, the point of contact, say, hey, what time do you want me to get there to sound check and kind of go through, do a practice run? He's like, oh yeah, we're not really doing a sound check. You're just gonna kind of do it. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, great. So I'm not going to hear the room. I don't know what kind of monitor situation. I'm like, okay, great. Because I do this all the
Terrifying.
time. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
okay.
problem. And so, so that's number two. And so I get there. They put us behind, I'm backstage with all of the pre-show people, like the person doing the prayer, the person doing the Pledge of Allegiance. And I was third. I was doing the anthem. And so I talked to the guy that's kind of like running the backstage. I said, hey, man, I'm next, or I'm third. I said, where's the mic that, I'm sure, surely you got a wireless mic that I'm going to
Right.
go out and sing
Carrie.
sing it.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
He said, He said, let me check. Looks, he said, oh, he said, no. He said, you're just doing it at the podium, like the speaker's podium. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, never done it before. I'm half sick from, bronchitis. There's no sound check. And now there's no wireless microphone. I just go to the podium like, hey, what's up, y'all? 4,000 plus people. And, and so I'm like, great. So I'm sitting there now, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. And the girl's finishing up the girl that was in front of me finishing up the Pledge of Allegiance. And they're literally calling my name, like, next up to sing the national anthem, country singer, right? And as I'm getting up and walking around the curtain, he goes, oh, by the way, mic's really hot. You may want to just kind of test it out to gauge.
Test it out.
So now I gotta go up there and say hey to the crowd, like say something to just like get a where I need to be.
Yes.
Oh, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, who hypes up anything before a national anthem? No one goes out and says, hey, what's up, guys? We're gonna do the national anthem. Let's go. I got to go out there and hype the crowd, MC it, sing the national anthem, the whole thing. I'm like, damn, Chris Stapleton just showed up. And they were like, Chris Stapleton to sing the national anthem, and he's singing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm out there. I'm like, what am I going to say? Like, hey, check, 1, 2. So I go out and I said, it's on the video. I go out and say, Charleston, what's going on? How's everybody doing? I appreciate y'all being here. Like they were there for me. Like they had made some special arrangement to be there.
Listen,
oh my God.
I am so glad.
Most awkward thing in the world.
I am so glad that you just said that, because when you sent me the video, I immediately thought, I was like, oh, okay, that's a take. That's different. I've never seen anybody do that before.
Like, why is he coming out and talking to the crowd? It was so embarrassing. It was so good. But now you got the backstory, right? Now you know the story behind the story. Because I was literally, as I'm walking around the corner, they're like, by the way, the mic's hot. Check it. Want to test it out.
I'm so glad that you told me that, though, honestly. Because, but still, at the same time, like,
that is crazy, though.
No. Because, I mean, okay, as someone who also, like, sings here and there, like, you're right. They introduce you and you just go. Like, that's exactly... You know what I mean? You just sing. And sometimes they don't even introduce you. You just just know to go, because they're still standing from the Pledge of Allegiance or the color guard coming in or whatever. And so, yeah. But again, I wasn't like making fun. I was just like, okay, that's new. But yeah, that was smart of you though to because what I would do with actually, I don't know what I would do if I was put in that situation where I had to be like,
well, I didn't have time to think about it. I literally was walking and that's when by the way, I was like, jeez. So that was just what came naturally. Like, Charleston, what's up? How we doing?
Well, and that just shows what a seasoned performer you are and how ready you are to just hop on the mic and be ready to go. Because I'm sure other people would have been shitting a brick, you know what I mean? For lack of a better word.
No one that's ever seen it or that was there or has seen the video said, man, you didn't look nervous at all. You didn't seem nervous.
No.
And I was like,
yeah.
And I mean, it's hard to explain. So it's it wasn't like shaking nervous, like, oh my God, my voice is cracking and I just can't breathe. It was more like just a healthy butterfly, anxiousness, just to get it going and get it. And then once I kind of got into it, I fell into my comfort zone. But it's just funny to know the backstory behind all the things that led up to that moment, because there were so many behind the scenes factors that people just would never know. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, like I said, you handled it with style. You handled it with grace. I don't know if I could have done it that well, but oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to veer just a little bit. And we talked about, you being from Carolina, currently in Charlotte. Tell me a little bit about your life and growing up. South Carolina or North Carolina?
I grew up in South Carolina.
South. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So tell me more about, home life, what it was like when you started, playing and singing and really getting into country music itself.
Yeah. So I always tell people I'm from a small town in South Carolina, but then as I got to thinking about it, I'm like, everything's a small town in South Carolina. So it's just you don't really have to preface it that way. I guess you could be from Columbia, which isn't that small, but
Right.
Yeah, so I'm from a
Still small,
very,
I would say.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yes, nationally speaking, everything in South Carolina is considered very small, even our
Yeah.
state capital. But yeah, I grew up in a rural town, little town about an hour south of Columbia, and that was just, I mean, all we had to do really was play ball, which I was really, really big into sports, more so than I was into music.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was always into music. I just like sports was just something that was. There weren't a lot of people in my town doing music. I had one of my really good friends. He and I both did music, and we had that bond. But most of the guys in my town were just athletes. Like we just played ball, and we go fishing and stuff like that. So like it
Yeah.
was just small town, standard, typical life. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I kind of turned it more from a hobby into something that I was a little more passionate about, a little more serious about. And then as I kind of got into my college years, I said, man, I think I can maybe do something with this. And that's when it became a little bit more of a career path. But I grew up in a very musical house. My dad played drums. My mom sang and played a little piano and guitar. Her family was really musical. My grandmother played like 8 instruments by ear. And I just always remember being around music, just growing up. I mean, we had the first house we lived in my town. The first room you walk into was like this. It was like an old Victorian style home, but it's like a formal dining room. Is what it would have been had it been used properly. But we had it as a music room. So my dad had his whole like drum kit set up in our house, like right there. So he'd come home from work and just play drums. I'm like, that was just normal, So, like I said, I grew up around music. He was big into classic rock, Beatles, Southern rock, Skinner. He introduced me to all that stuff, Eric Clapton and whatnot. Mom was real big into country. She was like Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, all the old school stuff, as well as like, 80s, 90s country. So I got really hit from both sides as far as my parents go. And then I kind of grew up when hip hop was really, the most dominant and popular, genre. So to say I got like hit from every possible angle musically is an understatement. So
yeah,
and that's why it's funny. I had my well, I don't even know what it's called, the top 10 list or top playlist on your Spotify, like your
like a Wrapped or whatever it's called.
your rap.
Yeah.
And this friend of mine, this girl on Instagram, she messaged me, said, "God, Ryan," she said, your Spotify is chaotic." I was like, that's a perfect description. I was like, it's no rhyme or reason, like at all. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I'd be embarrassed if my headphones fell off in the gym. Like if my Bluetooth switched over, 9 times out of 10, I'd probably be like, what? It's never what you think it is.
Well, what's your go-to gym vibe? Like, well, I say, okay, it's hard to say, right?
That changes.
You never know.
Often. Yeah.
Well, okay, so, oh my God, let me tell you something. The worst thing happened to me today. I did like a 5 a.m. workout this morning, and
God bless you.
I brought my AirPods case. So like I was, ready to like start my workout, and I opened it up. I can't find either one of my AirPods. Oh. That was the most, listen, there is nothing worse than like raw dogging the gym air of like grunts and like treadmill feet steps. Like it's the worst sound. Oh my God.
My friend and I had an idea a long time ago for people that forgot their earphones. We were going to have the little disposable earbuds for like $1, and we were going to call them Gym Buds or Gym Jams. I think Gym Jams was what it was.
Gym Jams,
right? And we were just going to like put them in all the gyms across the country, like $1 packet for people because think about how many people accidentally forget their headphones.
Yes.
But then they did away with the little 1/4-inch jack or the 1/8-inch jack on all the phones. It was like that idea right up out the door.
Oh no. Ugh. Yes. So I could have benefited from some gym jams today, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah. Okay. So let me ask you about your most previous workout then. What were you listening to?
That's hilarious.
Dude, that's what it felt like. It felt like such an invasion. I don't know what else to call it. It
Yeah.
was,
Yeah,
ugh,
there's
it was
nothing.
terrible.
Yeah, there's nothing like being on that heavy bitch set, and then damn Olivia Rodriguez comes on or something. You're like, oh my god, like you need some like you need some like appetite for destruction. You know, welcome to the jungle. And then you
Yes,
get Justin Bieber, and you're
exactly.
like, you know, nothing against Justin Bieber, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
He's not that heavy last rep kind of. You know,
Push.
he's
You need
not.
the
Yeah,
push.
yeah.
Yes,
I need something a
exactly.
little more grit.
I've thought about like if I really planned it out, there are like workouts that I would do to certain songs, like depending on tempo, depending on I don't know,
Mhm.
like grit you talked about. I need to make a playlist, like so whenever this song comes on, I'm like, shit, I gotta go do 100 crunches or whatever, because like that's I feel like I need to have it planned out like that,
Yeah,
and it just like hits me randomly, but I don't know.
yeah. Mine changes all the time, and I'm the type to like when I add like I'm constantly adding favorites to my playlist, my favorites on
Yeah.
Spotify. So I mean, it's like I don't even know how big that playlist is, but it's always like the first 10 you cycle through. It's just like you get, and then you just like I play them and play them until I'm tired of them, and it's like the next 10. It's like I'll wear a song out. I will wear a song out
Out. Yeah, me
completely.
too,
Like
brother.
I'll put it on repeat, and it's just like over and over and over. I'm bad
And
about
then you'll go to hear it like a month later, and you'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to listen to this anymore because
yeah.
it's just overplayed." I know you. I feel the same way. I feel like I do that with so much stuff, or like an album. I feel like I'll keep an album on repeat, like I don't know, for months at a time, and then it'll be old,
Oh yeah.
right? But it's still not to
It's
me.
old for you,
It's
like
either
it's
one or the
just
other.
then it's like then you'll hear something like on the radio, like waking making the world premiere for da 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 this song, like world premiere. Jesus, like I'm already tired of this song. Yeah, so
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know
nothing
exactly what
moves
you
as
mean.
fast as the internet. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. It's a great thing and a curse, I feel like,
It is a
in
gift
some
and a
respects
curse.
of life.
Yeah,
Oh my
from
gosh.
a from a
Well,
musician's point of view, it's definitely a gift and a curse because it allows you opportunities to get your music out that you didn't have before, but it also creates like a saturated field of
yeah.
you know people that some are better than others, and you kind of have to cut through the noise.
Yeah, and like I don't know, especially this day and age with social media platforms and the the strategy and SEO and all these other kind of like I don't know, content regulators. It's like hard to just kind of break through the surface and you kind of have to crack that code and
And
it's a game for sure. It's definitely a game.
it's
I'm
hard.
100% like
You definitely have to stay patient with it and like consistent. You have to just like
yeah, for sure.
keep posting and keep beating that door down. So
Yeah. That means this is a really good opportunity for you to shout out all your social media handles and your website and everything like that so everyone can find
okay,
you.
so all my socials are just my name, Ryan Trotti, RyanTrotti, and
Hmm.
that's for TikTok, that's for Instagram, uh, Facebook, all the above. Same as a
Yeah.
website, just ryantrotti.com. And yeah, I pretty much make it easy to find me. Not a lot
Good.
of Ryan Trotties running around there doing country music, that's for sure. Not a lot of Ryan Trotties in general. I found for the longest time I thought I was literally the only one because I would look up, we all Google our name and stuff, and nobody would come
Right.
up. Like I had access to all the handles on all the new apps. It's like nobody's used Ryan Trotty. And this one kid popped up out of nowhere in Georgia. He's
Oh.
younger than I am. He's 5 or 10 years younger than me. And his name is
Mhm.
Ryan Trotti. I'm like, you don't look like Ryan Trotti. This guy's like all American, like farm kid, brown hair, short, just typical Georgia.
Yes.
Nothing against it. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying, giving you a description. And
Hmm.
I'm like, wait a minute, like you're not me. And so thankfully I beat him to almost all the handles. I'm like, let me get every single app and just put Ryan Trotti because you don't know what you're gonna meet.
Beat him to
Yeah.
it. Yes,
So,
exactly.
but no, I'm easy to find. Just don't believe any of the negative stuff you see because that's all fake news.
Absolutely.
Only
Oh
believe
my
the good
gosh.
stuff.
Well, yeah. Okay. I have two things before we hop off today. One, we talked a little bit about some of your new songs, right? That's one dropping pretty soon, and then one coming out in the
Yeah.
winter. What else do you have as far as like live shows or any other kind of appearances or anything else that you have coming up that you'd like to promote or anything like
We're
that?
going to be actually playing the Field and Stream Festival with Lainey Wilson and Eric Church in October. Carolina Adventure World
Nice.
in Ridgeway, South Carolina. That's a really big one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to have a discount ticket code here soon. They contacted me
Cool.
just the other day, so I'll blast that on all of my socials and website and such. But that's going to be a really fun show. It's a cool venue,
Yeah.
and it's a great lineup, and so that's like the next big thing that we've got going on as far as performances. But like all the other road warriors out there, I'm pretty much playing every week, multiple times a day or multiple times a week.
Mm-hmm.
So just
Yeah.
I always tell
It's
people,
so funny that you brought up Field and Stream because,
I'm a
like, I've thought
part-time
about coming to
musician
that
and a
one.
full-time driver.
Yeah, driver.
But,
Yeah, always on the
always.
road, dude. Always on the road. Well, I may have to hit you up for that discount code because, like, Field and Stream, I've been looking at it. I want to go.
Oh, you should
So
totally go.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be good. It's a 3-day festival.
if I
Like,
do,
it's a big deal.
it is.
And it's a
Yeah,
perfect
and
time
if
of year.
I make it up there, yeah, it is. It's gonna be beautiful.
Right.
Absolutely
October in
beautiful.
the
Yes,
Carolinas,
thank the
can't
Lord.
beat it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good to know. Okay, yeah, that'll be a huge, huge event. And then if there's anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to before we hop off today, shout them out. Let them know what you got.
Wow, you threw me a curveball on that one. I have no idea. I want to give a shout
I
out
always
to
call for
Mama
it.
Trotti, my biggest fan. Honestly,
Oh,
she's probably more well known than I am. I'm pretty sure if I came out with a shirt that just said "I'm here for Mama Trotti," it would sell out way faster than any of my merch does. But nah, she's everybody should have a mama like my mama. She's always been super supportive. She's the sweetest lady on the planet. I've literally never met a single person that had anything but awesome stuff to say about her. They're like, "We love Mama Trotti. Is Mama Trotti coming?" So shout out to Mama Trotti. Nah, honestly, I want to give a shout out to all of my, music peers who are out there doing it. This is not an easy lifestyle for even people who are successful. Will tell you it's very difficult.
yeah.
It's got its challenges. We like to hide a lot of that, obviously, on social media and just in
Mhm.
all the promotional stuff that you see. But everyone out there doing it day to day knows how much of a grind it is. So shout out to everybody out there that's doing their thing, but also lifting other people up as well. That's one thing I like about country genre and Nashville in particular is most of the circle, not all, but most of the people, it's a big time camaraderie thing. It's like, hey, if I can get there and help kind of lift you up as well, there's a lot of that. So I love that. Shout out to everybody doing their thing. Shout out to people like you giving us a platform to say hey and have a conversation and laugh and get in front of people. So yeah, you guys are awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much because this has been a lot of fun today.
Yeah,
A lot
same
of
here.
fun. And I hope the listeners, I hope they can like hear that this has actually been like very enjoyable. So
Too bad they missed out on all the
Listeners out-
content before we started recording.
that behind the
Yeah.
scenes footage that no one will ever
Yeah.
see. Yes. Listeners out there, make sure you check out Ryan Trotti. Follow him on social media. If you're going to Field and Stream this year, make sure to holler at him and let him know. He's pretty like awesome in response time with social media stuff. So if you ever like shoot him a message, I'm sure he'd get back to you. And
For sure.
For sure. Okay. Yeah. This is Ryan Trotti and Leigh, and you just heard it here on Coda Country Chats. Y'all have a great day.
Go Gamecocks.